Alright, on this edition of A Fly a Day While My Wife's Away, I'm going to be tying a daddy longlegs spider. So, first off, I'm going to be using, I usually use the Eagle Claw pack, the cheap Eagle Claw. These are $2.96 right now at Walmart. This is a pack that has 3 different sizes of hook. I was looking today and saw a new pack because I just wanted some more variety of sizes. So I went and looked and saw this pack. This is about $7 and it's got 211 hooks in it. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, about 7 different sizes. And some different shapes and things. Has the downturned eyes on them instead of the flat eyes. So that'll be nice to have a little bit of change there. Still inexpensive hooks compared to regular fly tying hooks. So anyway, back to the type of fly I'm tying. I'm just trying to come up with new ideas of flies for this challenge, and I've been watching some videos online, and I came across one that was to me it was known as a mosquito hawk. In Texas, here in California, I mean, I don't know what they call them here, but it looks like a gigantic mosquito, but it doesn't bite. It, from what I know, they eat mosquitoes. And then the videos that I've seen, people call those daddy longlegs. But where I'm from in Texas, and where my cabin is and where my family is, a daddy longlegs is not fly. A daddy longlegs is a spider. It's a spider that's got a body about the size of like a green pea, and then it's got legs that are nearly 3 inches long each. I mean, it's a really interesting. They might even be 4 inches long. I mean, they're really long legs. So I thought, well, I'll tie my version of a daddy longlegs. So I've got some foam here. I think this foam will work well for what I'm doing. It's a good color for these guys. I could do it a darker brown. It doesn't really matter. I can also do this one and color it some with a marker or something. And then way back from my first fly tying video that I posted, I tied a bunch of these. This is a pheasant tail, and I tied a bunch of these legs pre-tied. Just tied a knot in the strand. It's like 2 barbs each, and made legs out of them for whatever bug. And so I thought I'd utilize those for this fly. So it's going to be foam. Oh, and I wanted to use some ostrich herl, which I'll take out of this tube. This is a conductor's baton holder. And I don't really conduct too much now, so I use it for keeping this thing under wraps. So let's go ahead and get this thing going so it's not lingering too much. Alright, so let me put this aside. And the thread that I'm going to use is this kind of tan color. This came in a pack, pre-packed set of fly tying materials for a specific fly, and so I just have the color, and I don't know what the size is. I don't know what the 8/0 or 6/0 or whatever. I don't know what the size is on that, so it did not come labeled unless the package had the label and I didn't see it. But nonetheless, oh, that's gonna be a little close. Let me move this out a little bit. Ooh. There. So except for that first 5 minutes that I just spent talking, it should be a pretty quick fly. Not too many parts to it. Just going to go here. Okay. So I want to have a little bit of a wedge here to make it easier to tie in. There. Just a little point. And I'm just going to go here. Yeah, these things have like about the size of a pea, but almost like a football shaped body. Almost a football shape. So I think if I do that and come over the top with it like that and tie it off, I think I'm going to go further down on the bend of this hook though. There. Okay. Now, I just want something. These aren't really super fuzzy spiders. I just want something to give it a little more life, a little more bite. So I'm going to use this ostrich stuff. So my cabin in East Texas, we have about 100 acres in a cabin. And the cabin used to have, it still has the back porch, but we rebuilt the back porch several years ago. But before, there was lots of ways that critters could get into the back porch. And we would go in after being gone for several months, having not been there. And we would go in and see, if you looked up in the top of that room, there would be all these spiders up in the top. And they don't hurt you. The rumor is that they're the most poisonous spider in the world, but they can't bite you. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, it's a good story. But there would be all those spiders, and you'd go in and you could just blow up in the corner and you'd see the whole bunch of them move. But occasionally you'll just be in the woods and you'll look down and you'll see one crawling across your shoulder. And some people that aren't used to it, it kind of freaks them out. I've gotten used to it, and since I know they don't bite, you can just get them and let them climb on you. It's almost the way that some people do a tarantula, where you just pick it up and let it crawl. But yeah, so they're interesting. And I don't know how tantalizing they are to a fish, but I would imagine if one falls in the water, that a fish will eat it. So what I did there is I just went halfway. All their legs kind of come out from one spot. So I got a little bit of that ostrich herl there, ostrich, whatever that's called. And now I'm going to tie in the legs. Try to find some legs that have the knot kind of in the same spot. Because I want them to look kind of similar. Another thing about these spiders is if you handle them too much, their legs come off real easy. So you'll see them trying to crawl around on 7 legs or 6 legs or whatever. What they don't do is, like some spiders, when you kind of mess with them and they curl their legs up to protect their body, these guys don't really do that. They will just drop if they're on something that and they feel threatened. They'll just fall to the ground. I guess their legs kind of absorb their fall. So it looks like this is the more time-consuming part of this thing. Picking out the legs and tying them all in. Guess you could do 2 at a time instead of 1 at a time. Come on. There, got it. I'm just trying to be anatomically correct here with this spider. I don't think the fish will care if it has 8 legs or not. So, and there's a good chance that if it's fallen in the water that it won't have 8 legs anymore anyway. cut this off as clean as I can because they don't have a separate head. It's just kind of there. So again, this is just creating a fly. I can already see something that I would do different, but I think I probably would have tied in the fuzzy part first. Tied in the legs first and then wrapped the fuzzy part in between them to make them spread out. I would also have gone back and done more down here, but I think it's still cool. I think fish will still eat it up, if you will. And it's actually, these legs are actually even more thick and heavy than an actual day long legs is. In fact, if I had tied this with individual pieces of pheasant tail, they would have been more likely, more like the actual legs. Or I could have done the way that they're tied and they're in pieces of two. I could have just taken 2 pieces and then it would have been 4 legs at the ends. Again, the fish don't really care, but one thing I can do that might help it is come in here and cut these off at the knot where they're doubled. I mean, these spiders have, their legs are so delicate. It's like a hair almost. When they're walking on you, you can't even feel it at all. Like you can barely feel it like on your hand when you know they're walking on you. That's cool looking. That's pretty much what they look like. Work on. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'm actually going to put some black nail polish on that head to darken it up a little bit. Okay, and there you have it. There's a East Texas daddy long legs.